Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Doc Marmelo Abante and my dear classmates. Today, I will be discussing the learning leadership skills. The question of what makes a good leader is widely debated, and we can all relate to non-stop arguments with who really possesses an outstanding leadership skills. It is clear that the ability to lead effectively relies on a number of key skills, but also that leaders have different characteristics and styles. The main characteristic of good leaders is their flexibility and ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Learning leadership skills also are very important in one's career growth, so honing it is just as important as getting a degree in college or learning a new skill. To be a great and effective leader, one will need to develop special skills such as the ability to be a good listener and communicator. Not everyone has given the gift of becoming a good leader. In fact, very few are natural born leaders. That's why most people have to learn, improve, and develop their leadership skills. The leadership development involves identifying and mastering the key skills necessary to become a successful leader. What are the differences and importance of hard skill and the soft skills? Hard skill first are abilities that can be taught and are easy to prove. These skills are typically taught in classroom or through life and personal experiences. In essence, hard skills are technical skills that are needed to be able to perform specific tasks or for a specific job. It includes proficiency in a foreign language or being multilingual, a degree of or academic qualification, computer typing speed, technical know-how or machine operation, computer programming, coding ability, cooking, or even the driving skills. How about the soft skills? These are subjective skills that are much harder to quantify. It is also known as people skills or interpersonal skills. Soft skills relate to the way you relate to and interact with other people. These are personal traits and habits that determine how one performs a specific task. And yes, we agree with this that it is developed as one gets older. It is harder to prove soft skills because there is no definitive proof of those skills. One can show their degree, grades, or even certificates with hard skills, but soft skills have to be demonstrated in the workplace. Makikita natin ito sa through effective communication, flexibility, the leadership, motivation, patience, so persuasion, the problem-solving abilities, the teamwork, and many more. How about the interpersonal skills? These are traits you rely on when you interact and communicate with others. They cover a variety of scenarios where communication and cooperation are essential. Some example of it are include active listening, teamwork, responsibility, dependability, the leadership, motivation, flexibility, patience, and empathy. And strong interpersonal skills enable leaders to foster meaningful relationship with their team, engage and motivate employees, navigate setbacks, and address the root cause of poor performance. In fact, multiple studies have shown that leaders with high emotional intelligence create more connected and motivated the teams. And the effective communication. Yes, it is one trait found in all leaders. It comes with one leadership qualities and personality to guide, to inspire, and influence people. Effective communication is not only about oneself, but focuses on others, gets rooted within people, and create aspiration. And it is very important to effectively communicate with other people and the effective communication places more emphasis on listening rather than speaking. Listening well not only focuses on understanding the words or the information being communicated, it also focuses on the emotion. Learning how to communicate effectively also focuses on reading non-verbal verbal communication. This includes the movement of the eyes, their hands, the tone of the voice, and even the breathing. So after realizing the importance of effective communication, one needs to develop effective communication as all are not born with it. Some of us fear to speak up in the crowd, stutter, and forget what we have to say when it comes to communicating. The conflict resolution. It is the ability to resolve conflicts and often seen as leadership trait. So people who can identify conflicts, acknowledge different opinions, and build a consensus are valuable to many organizations. They make it more likely to personal differences to be set aside so that the work can continue. Conflicts are unavoidable and are major reason for rifts in many relationships. That's why conflict resolution skills are very important in mending any conflict or disagreement that may that may arise in a healthy and orderly way. Conflict resolution requires a great deal of understanding the other's perspective. How about the negotiation? The leadership skills in negotiation are used to understand the interests of those you're leading and to find ways of satisfying those interests. In negotiation, effective leaders seek to understand the interests of those they lead and find ways of satisfying those interests in order to achieve organizational goals. The good negotiations contribute significantly to business success as they help you build the better relationships, deliver lasting quality solutions rather than poor short-term solutions that do not satisfy the needs of either party and help you avoid future problems and conflicts. It is also the discussion that settles disputes and is used to reach agreements between two parties. It is process of give and take wherein a compromise has to be made so that everyone involved will be benefited. Another thing, problem solving and critical thinking refers to the ability to use knowledge, facts, and data to effectively solve problems. This doesn't mean you need to have an immediate answer. It means you have to be able to think on your feet, assess problems, and find solution. Hindi pa dalos-dalos sa pagdedesisyon. Critical thinking, critical thinking allows leaders at every level to evaluate their decision making and how these decisions ultimately impact results. And as leaders grow within the organization, they become more acutely aware of their priorities, available resources, and how they need to be accountable for their decisions. So, here are top critical thinking skills. Number one there is the analysis. People with analytical skills can examine information, understand what it means, and properly explain to others the implications of that information. They are asking thoughtful questions, data analysis, research, interpretation, judgment, recognizing patterns. Also, the communication, you will need to share your conclusion with your employers or with a group of colleagues. You need to be able to communicate with others to share your ideas effectively. You might also need to engage critical thinking in a group. In this case, you will need to work with others and communicate effectively to figure out solutions to complex problems. What about the creativity? Critical thinking often involves creativity and innovation. You might need to spot patterns in the information you are looking at or come up with a solution that no one else has thought or that no one else thought of before. All of this involves a creative eye that can take a different approach from all other approaches. Open-mindedness. To think critically, you need to be able to put aside any assumptions or judgments and merely analyze the information you receive. You need to be objective, evaluate ideas without bias. The problem solving is another critical thinking skill that involves analyzing a problem, generating and implementing a solution, and assessing the success of the plan. The employers don't simply want employees who can think about information critically. They also need to be able to come up with up practical solutions. So great leaders are great decision makers. Here, decision making requires making a choice between two or more available choices. Decision making requires great reasoning in order to find out the best possible outcome between the choices and might also lead to a significant change within the organization. How to improve decision making skills? You need to identify the situation, note potential solutions or actions, list the advantages and disadvantages of each option, and choose the decision you want to proceed with and measure the results. Okay, so what kind of leader are you? According to John F. Kennedy, leadership and learning are indispensable to others, and by John Quincy Adams, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. So you have your own definition of what it's like to be a good leader by having a different leadership skills, whether it's innate in you or um, developed through times. So that's all for my report. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.